You may.
Is it possible that the head in the jar looks a little bit like Richard Milhouse Nixon?
No.
Okay. Would have
Hold
been.
on.
I mean, I don't think that it's Richard Milhouse Nixon, but if he just resembled it, and never mind.
Okay, good. It's no longer a silent movie, is what I'm being told. Huzzah. Okay, so we're going to actually pick up with the ladies. Kit and Delilah, you were there in the early dawn light as the this mustachioed man chambers another round. And Kit, it's your turn to decide when I stop.
You're trusting me with that again?
Yeah. Oh wait, we'll give it. Delilah, it is your turn to tell me.
I lost it.
Privilege revoked. You want me to cut it or just draw the top card? Cut it. Okay. All right. Oh, we need a recap of everything that happened before Ben started talking. I will do one more recap. Apologies. So, there's too much. Let me sum up. The girls went out on a girls' night, stopped an ogre. The warden disappeared at just before dawn. The girls think that it may be the ladies. I don't. You said girls' night, but
I'm fine with either.
okay. Either decided that maybe the warden is a vampire. They were then being shot by the mustachioed man. Brother Block spent about 6 hours praying, holding that position for the entirety of last week's game. Mad props to Brother Block. Zorba and Kowalski went to deal with the voice of the headless, the head in a jar, and possibly made matters worse by altering the deal that they had with the twins. Pray they do not alter the deal further. The fallout of said deal is unknown. So, that, Padre says if you guys only had a wheelbarrow, possibly a Holocaust folk, you would be in a much better situation. So, upon returning to the safe house, the guys decided, well, if the girls got a girls' night, the guys would have a boys' brunch and go into the city to get food. We are starting with the ladies who are being shot at, and your card is it's jammed. Any roll of a 1 through 4 is a mishap and malfunction for any energy weapon, fire combat, or heavy weapon this round. So,
I think that includes our mustachioed
it does include the mustachioed man. I love how he doesn't have a mask because I could really, because he is a mysterious mustachioed man who is maskless. Meanwhile,
I do usually describe people by things they don't have.
Meanwhile, bang, no. All right, so Delilah, you are being shot at. So the shot rings out and catches Delilah in the leg. Delilah, your toughness is 13. Good to know. All right, Delilah.
They're exploding back there.
You will take a wound and 2 shock. So you have 2 options. You can take it, being shot through the thigh by this mustachioed man, or you could spend a possibility and attempt to soak the damage.
I want to do that.
Okay, so spend a possibility and you will roll reality and tell me what you get.
I believe in you. Well,
What is your base reality?
How do I?
So you should have adds in reality.
So the base value is 8.
Okay, and then what did you?
6.
Okay, so that drops you to a 4. So would you like to spend another possibility to blow it up, or do you want to just take the wound and 2 shock?
This early on, I think I should probably just take.
All right, the shot rings out. Defend and intimidate are your approved actions. Ladies, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
okay, so at this point,
Yes.
we're in the street.
You are in the street.
And we're being shot out by the mustachioed, maskless
Mystery man.
mischievous man.
Yes. Ooh.
Um.
First one to get to 6 wins.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, we'll get there. From the window, right?
Yes, on the 2nd floor.
Okay, I kind of think we probably should go back inside.
Yeah.
So and because I feel like we've still left a villain in the room that the ogre came out of, and then there's also
No. Delilah saw that there was no one else in the room.
no one else is there.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the remains of
Just his lunch.
Yeah, just his lunch.
Which his ogre mother packed him before you killed him.
Okay, in that case, do you want to retreat into somewhere else where we can attack from a better vantage point, or should we go try and subdue him? But also maybe try to explain that we aren't the people who took pictures of him. We were trying to find that person.
I don't know how fast I can move because I think
You can move just fine. It is a cinematic wound, so it looks worse than it actually will
Okay.
impact you.
it was just one wound and how much?
1 wound and 2 shots.
I say we go get some cover.
Go get some cover?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so cover. There's 3 points of cover. You could retreat back into the building you were at. You could hide behind the car that already has some pieces missing from it. Or if you dash across the street, you could get into the building that he's in. And he would have no line of sight to you. In fact, you're guessing from the roll you made last week. These buildings are probably laid out the same. Central hall for the 1st floor, stairs that lead up to the 2nd floor.
Okay, then I think we should dash to the other building and get cover there.
Okay. Let's do it.
So the other building, the building he's in.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you guys, do you want to? So that's a move. You both can do that. Is there anything else you want to do? When you get in there, you throw the door open. You can see there are people kind of cowering inside their doors. The stairs that lead up to the 2nd story. You're guessing there are 2 rooms on the 2nd story. He's in the front-facing room.
Looking at these doors, are there any ways of like barricading the doors so he can't leave his room?
If you would no, they all open from the inside.
Because that would have been cool, I think. It's one of those hatchlings of a plan that I don't think was actually going to go anywhere, but it would have been a lot of effort to try. So
Yeah, it definitely wobbled and fell on its face.
yeah, checks out. Okay, I would like to. We've dashed over there. I kind of want to see if I see any other lay of the land on if I know. Like, there's some people cowering. I just want to do an evidence analysis
Go for it.
to see if there's anything else I should be wary of villain-wise.
Okay. What do you want to do, Delilah?
I think I'm just gonna go with her.
Okay, kind of follow behind. All right.
Cover me.
By the way, to everyone, hello to Grey March, Mr. Furious, Phantom, Padre, Zero Earth Element, Greg. Good to see all of you in the chat tonight. If I missed somebody, apologies. Okay, what'd you get?
14.
Okay, so what you notice is that it. Do you have anything that could get you to a 15? Now remember, you can put 1 card into your pool at the end of this round.
Okay,
Yep.
so at this point, we don't have any
At this
cards
point, you
that
don't
we
have
can
any
play.
cards in your pool.
I can spend a possibility, but I don't really want to spend a possibility on this unless it's going to be super cool.
I'll tell you what you find. There's something off about this building.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, you can see that the kind of how the rooms are spaced both here and on the landing. You can see on both the 1st floor and the 2nd floor, it looks as if very recently the doors were moved away from each other and hastily plastered, like floor to ceiling plastered over.
Now I feel like I want to spend that possibility and learn more.
And Rook! I missed Rook. I'm so sorry, my friend.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I want to learn more.
Okay.
Okay. It's a
It
2,
counts as a 10.
but it's a 10. So now it's a plus. I can do math. 20.
Plus 20.
Well, a total of 20.
Okay, so a total of 20. That takes you from a normal or standard to an outstanding success. Someone has done work in this tenement building recently, and it looks like they created a gap between the 2 rooms
Oh.
for some strange reason. You can also see there is at the base, there's this really fine network of what look like roots coming out from the, like, kind of worked into the plaster. And you can smell this sort of fetid, slightly rotten scent coming from this space between the roots.
I feel like I might know that scent well.
No, it definitely does not smell like either myself or like Mummy.
Okay, never mind.
You're more of a dry rot kind of a person. This is definitely more of a
Well,
wet rot sort of
I
smell.
don't know. I feel like I would have been around a lot of similar smells.
Sure. Sure. You definitely smell the scent of rotting flesh.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that is not great.
Yeah.
Am I still with you?
You are. You guys are right there.
Do I maybe perhaps recognize the smell since I smelled something
Ooh.
particularly nasty in the last building?
It definitely no. It doesn't smell like the pile of rotten meat lives, but it does trigger a memory for you. It smells like the basement of the house in Chardonnay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I don't know about that. What?
The gun. You guys both hear the sound of like footsteps running, not on the landing but in the room. Heavy footsteps, and suddenly that side of the building goes completely quiet. Meanwhile, gentlemen, you're heading down to brunch.
So, does Istanbul or Constantinople
Mm-hmm.
have a river, or is it?
It is a massive strait that Bosphorus.
Okay.
The Bosphorus.
All right.
Do you want to walk along the river walk?
No, I
Or
would
the-
like.
The Bosphorus.
I
walk?
would like to use my requisition roll,
Okay,
and I would like to requisition a party yacht.
like a riverboat kind of a thing.
Yeah, that sounds good
That sounds so fun.
for brunch.
Give me a
I
brunch
feel like
roll.
that is a good use of my
Yeah.
requisition.
Yeah, you are definitely that guy that like the accountants curse.
This boys' brunch sounds way more fun than our ladies' night.
I don't know.
Now
I
this is a
slept in my
persuasion.
3 days.
23.
Cough, pirates, cough.
2. So that's going to be a total of 22.
You know, 22 on his requisition roll.
That's 8.
It's a nice river
So that's going to
party boat.
Like barely fit in the river. It's so big.
Along the street.
Yeah, on the street.
be 23 is my total. I'm going to spend a possibility.
No, 23 is an outstanding success.
Can I get it higher? Is there a better thing?
There's
than
nothing better than an outstanding
You should
success.
probably still stick with the possibility though.
Yeah, you're right. I'm spending a possibility.
I-
Yeah, so that's going to be a 33.
All right. After some quick calls, after Brother Block awakes from his, emerges from his right hungry, Kowalski being always hungry, Zorba, you're like, no, I've got this taken care of. A couple of quick calls to the Delphi Council, a couple of
I think we're picking up.
stretches of the truth on the need, and soon the three of you are on a small but very well stocked riverboat.
Gentlemen, I have an idea that I believe we can achieve fairly quickly that will help us both socially and help us enjoy our pontoon boat cruise even more. Do you remember the valet that we got fired from the club on our first evening here in Istanbul?
That was like yesterday, so yes.
Like 2 days, but yes.
Yeah, you guys didn't have a lot of time for all the graffiti.
Stefanos?
It's true, yes.
Well, he was very sad, and it was a bit my fault and a bit Kowalski's fault because we became head chef and sous chef irrespectively of the kitchen, and I feel like that several people lost their jobs, and it's not fair. So, what if we ask him to be like our personal valet?
Are you saying we have a manservant or a side?
Just like let him
What
run
I'm
the
thinking-
boat. Like he'll
Run
run
the
the
boat.
boat.
Yeah. Like, are you good at party planning and
You have to go to the market.
coordinating?
Like that's kind of where you saw him last.
Yeah.
Maybe see if you can find out where
Well,
he's.
I never even noticed him.
Well, no, that's fair. All right. Well, as you guys are enjoying your food, I need everyone to give me a mind roll.
Well, despite my general lack of mind, that was a natural 20, so I get a skip. And a 10. And finally a 4.
It's so good.
30.
Okay.
Gotcha. What'd you get?
Aw.
I got a 15.
That is impressive from
For Kowalski,
Kowalski.
it is particularly impressive.
15.
15. All right. Double pairs of 15s. Brother Block.
Dues. That's 12. It's in French.
Oh, okay. I was like, um,
14.
the boat seems to be rocking more than it should. And in fact,
Don't
some
come
of,
and knocking. No regrets.
Possibility. Possibility.
yeah, that's definitely worth a possibility. Let me hand that over.
I think I should get a possibility back for completely extravagantly and uselessly spending my possibility.
That's not how those work, but I appreciate your A for effort. You guys all also hear, you definitely hear the sound of a small outboard motor growing closer. And as you all look, you can see that coming up right next to you is one of the like a wooden speedboat, and there is a gentleman who, as you guys are approaching, you can see he kind of pulls down and up a balaclava. But that's when you see the big rocky hands come over the side of the boat as a trio of rock demons pull themselves up onto your brunch boat. So, the next card for everyone is That Must Have Hurt. Heroes go first. Villains are fatigued. Any character who deals more than 20 damage may make a free Intimidate test against everyone who saw the attack. Intimidator Trick is the approved action. We're going to start with the guys this time.
So maybe we should have laid low.
You literally have multiple hits out on you.
But we aren't even on land anymore.
Zorba, correct me if I'm wrong, but you are soft and squishy.
No, man, he works
Okay,
out every day.
Tink, my drone, guard Zorba.
Okay.
You now have 6. You now have 6 hard light armor.
Ooh,
Nice.
nice. All right. So, Brother Block, what else are you doing with your turn?
Oh, I am going to pray to
Okay.
the developer of the game in which we are currently in.
Greg? He's in
No.
the chat.
Just no, not the son, the developer. I don't know if you guys ever saw that really old TV show called Reboot, and a thing would come down from
Yes.
and it would be like a cassette. So that's pretty much how Brother Block thinks things work. So like, oh, a boat just pulled up on our boat. Oh, like Ready Player One. Jump. So,
The prayers that he did last time, how do those affect?
So he got that. He takes 2 less shock from all of his.
Gotcha.
melee
Oh,
attack.
okay, that's already been used. Okay.
so now I'm going to make my first strike prayer.
Okay.
And based on success, I will go first for a number of rounds, regardless of what comes up on the cards.
All right.
I know it's just him rolling dice, but it sounds
So
like
I rolled a
right.
6, which takes it down to an 8. I will use a possibility. Hey, okay, so a 21 takes it up. So that's a 20,
Okay.
which will be an outstanding success. So I will just go first for the next 6 rounds.
I mean, okay.
And I burned my turn. My turn is over.
All right. Kowalski and and Zorba, what are you doing?
I'm going to stand up and tear off the napkin which was tucked into my collar.
Okay. Fair.
Put down the lobster claw.
Exactly.
Finish your mimosa.
It's gonna be a really nice day, alright? It's been a really long night. Do we? I suppose we don't recognize any of these guys.
No, not at all.
So just there's a guy in a hood, in a wooden boat,
Mm-hmm.
and a guy in three trolls.
Three rock elemental looking.
They crawl out of the water.
That
So
crawl
I
out
assume
of
they
the
don't
water
need to
under your
breathe.
boat. They do not seem like they need to breathe.
Crap. This seems bad.
That's pretty typical, right?
Jet getting assaulted by rock trolls during
Oh, it's not needing to breathe.
Oh, okay.
Come on. Don't be mummies.
All right. Well, in that case, I mean, Kowalski's got basically one move, which is, well, he's got 2 moves, but he's gonna go with the first move,
Okay.
which is he's gonna break out the katana.
Okay.
Gonna shrug. The handle's gonna pop out of his shoulder, and he's gonna.
All right.
All right. Do you suppose these guys are like soft and good butter on the inside?
Like lobsters.
Right. Like yeah. But like those mutant things from Farcold. All right, let's kill him.
All right. Go for it. Give me your attack.
All right, here we go.
Or maybe they are rock candy, and it's just a rock. There's just a bunch of rock on rock. Rock.
Rock on rock.
Okay, so that is melee, so that's gonna be a 12. I roll a 9, think of -1 plus
Well,
melee combat, it's gonna be 12.
a 12 hits for base damage.
Okay, and it's armor piercing 2.
Okay. And then what is the base damage on your weapon?
The base damage is my strength plus 2, which is not great, so that's 10.
Okay. That will do 1 shock to them.
Oh, well. Yeah, wow. So like it sinks in and has no effect.
Exactly. So, you pull a little, like you go up to one of them. What is your weapon? It's just a katana.
Katana. It's a Zalb slasher.
A Zol slasher.
MK2.
You bring it down, and it cuts a thin furrow, but you can see it almost immediately starts to like crust back up. Zorba. Brother Block calls out to the developer, to the Torg father,
Yeah.
which is apparently a new nickname.
So we just hit them. Kowalski hit them pretty hard and did nothing.
Kowalski hit them.
Yeah.
Didn't hit them
Kowalski
pretty hard.
didn't really actually hit that hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't forget to put a card.
Can you describe sort of the area we're in? Like, are we close to the bank? Are we going under a bridge? Are there other boats around?
Oh, this is great. You're definitely going under a bridge because that sounds fantastic.
Yeah, it's very
There
nice.
are several other small boats ranging from, like, off in the distance you can see sort of a now Empire patrol boat, but it's way off in the distance. Across the Bosphorus, which I've always wanted to say in a game, you can see the dark clouds over Tharcold and the giant, like, techno-organic seawalls that are now raised up against the rest of the city. You can see that there's several other dilettante going vessels. And yes, you are currently going like kind of under a large steel construction bridge.
Okay. I think what I would like to do is run to the steering wheel of
Yeah.
the boat.
Yeah.
What do you call that?
The
What's
stern.
the stern?
I think so, right?
No,
The helm?
like the helm.
The
Yeah.
helm, there you
The
go.
helm?
The helm.
Okay, I want to run to the helm.
I assumed he was jumping off the boat, so the stern would have been a good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Yeah.
And what I want to do is I want to sort of drag the boat along the side of the bridge, so it just sort of like
Scrapes
scrapes
against one of them.
them. What are they all on one side or
No, there's like two on one side and one climbing up the stern.
Okay, so so on the side that has two,
Yeah.
I want to just sort of take the boat and not ram it, but just drag it along the sides
Okay,
to
so,
try and scrape two, if possible, off.
well, so here's the thing. I love the idea.
Mhm.
And you are lucky that water vehicles is not bolded, so you can make a dexterity roll unless you have water vehicles.
All right. Good news. When I drafted up my character, I put water vehicles on,
Did you really?
and then later erased it and put something else on.
Oh,
So
yeah, that doesn't help you nearly as much as water vehicles.
okay, so it's just a straight dex roll.
It's just a straight dex roll. Now, 20s don't explode if you don't have adds in the skill.
Okay. Well, that was a one.
Oh no!
That's a mishap.
Uh-huh.
All right. Well, that is a thing that has happened. You don't so much drag the boat against they're on the port side. No, the starboard side, which is the right side. So you're kind of coming up against one of the big pillars that comes down to support the bridge. And instead of your kind of just scraping along the side, you kind of go nose first into the thing, and you crash the boat on this pillar.
Mhm.
The boat will now be taking on water, and I'm now going to have a new timer to ratchet up the tension.
Mhm.
Ladies, it is your turn.
We destroy everything you acquire.
Mr. Furious said that they will definitely not be getting their deposit back.
No.
But hey, when you have to fill out the paperwork, you can be like, no, clearly this boat was destroyed by rock demons sent by Dr. Mobius, lost in the events of the possibility.
Mhm.
Not too brunch.
Okay, so at this point,
Don't forget to put a card in play.
so at this point, we think there's zombies hiding behind the walls, and we've heard some running across. I think we need to go up to like confront this guy and hope that the zombies don't attack us, or maybe they'll break out of the wall later. I don't know. But do we see stairs?
Oh yeah, there's stairs that running up. You know exactly where he is.
Okay. Yeah, I think we should probably get up there and subdue him. Because again, I think he's shooting at us because he also thinks that we were the people in the window. So I don't know.
Like stun him with my spell and kind of make him chill.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you gotta have a line of sight though, so you'd have to go up to the roof.
Yeah, so I think we should do that.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Then otherwise we're in
So-
trouble.
Delilah, you're going up first.
Sure.
All right, you get up the stairs. The door, when you try it, is unlocked. Do you open it? All right, so you open the door, and the room is empty. You can see there are still papers kind of settling to the ground as if something was dragged off of the desk quickly. But the room is empty. The papers are kind of flying to the center of the room. The room has the desk, right, with the map. The map has been torn off the wall. You can see two little corners kind of still stay there. There is a cot on the outside wall. And on the when you kind of come in to your left, so kind of facing the center of the building, there is a large wardrobe pushed right up against the wall.
I'm gonna go move the wardrobe and look behind it.
All right. You push it, and two things happen. One, it slides easily. And second, the hole behind it has stairs that kind of very sharply descend down, and that smell gets worse. And in fact, you like a cold wind kind of comes out of it, and you can see that there are a pair of torches. Like this thing kind of drops down quickly below the first level, possibly into a basement. And there are a pair of torches kind of guttering in the newly discovered breeze.
You want to go down?
I guess.
I mean, we're here.
All right. As you descend down, the smell starts to get worse, and the cold starts to get worse. Do you both have Nile Empire Cosm cards?
Yes.
Cool. Would you hand them to me, please?
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't love that.
You guys just left the cosmos?
Ah,
Okay. I think you guys just left the Empire.
Kit, would you like me to cut this deck or leave it where it's at?
I would like you to take 2 cards off the bottom and put them on the top.
So the 2 that you guys will then draw.
Apparently, yes.
Do you want the first one or the second one?
I want the first one.
All right. As you descend down the
Into
stairs,
death.
you feel the tinkle of leaving one reality and transitioning into another. And as you get down there, you can see this whole room is covered in those roots. Do either of your cards say play immediately? Okay.
No.
Some of them do. You get the cold sinks into your lungs, into your bones, and you can see that there are several other torches around this room. You can see where the basement is, but you can also see something has been excavated down in several descending platforms, and there is a large leafless tree in the center of this pit.
Like from Fern Gully?
No. Maybe. No. Maybe. It's been a while since I've seen Fern Gully. I saw the
same here,
remake
so.
when they remade Fern Gully and called it Avatar. And you can see 3 things that immediately kind of shock you. One,
Wait, literally or?
no, one, this tree has a huge hole near the base, and you can see the man who's carrying all of the papers looks back at you, says something under his breath, and walks into the hole, and the darkness seems to swallow him. You can also see there is kind of growing out, like as if it's been merged with the tree. There is like half a face that's kind of moving in the tree. The eye is blinking rather quickly, and every time the person moves, you can see the tree kind of oozes some thick red liquid. And you also hear a groan come from behind the tree, and you can see 2 figures kind of jerkily moving towards you. They seem to be corpses wrapped with and fused with vines and tendrils. And you can hear this buzzing noise, and you can see there are flies and mosquitoes and other insects just pouring out of their chest cavity. So before you even get to take a turn, I need you both to give me a willpower or a spirit test to see if your character is frightened.
Think Jim's gonna try and kill us all tonight?
Okay, is willpower mind? Or what's that one?
Spirit.
Spirit, okay.
You got spirit.
That's what you said.
Yes, you do.
Okay, 19. I got 16.
You are fine.
11.
You are fine. All right. As you guys see, you can see these Gospog. You were trained for this kit. Gospog are creatures of nightmares that the High Lords use to defend things like this. You've heard rumors of nightmare trees, or even ones that allow passage between cosms known as dim thread trees. This is not a good thing. This means that Orosh, or the High Lord, is using this tree to connect Istanbul to another part of the world.
Oh, that's not good at all.
And the 2 defenders start shakily limping towards you. The sound of buzzing gets louder. What do you guys do? It's still your turn.
What would happen if we tried to burn the tree?
probably it would summon more defenders.
Well,
Like
let's
a
not do
dim,
that.
yeah, a dim thread tree is very difficult to get rid of.
Would killing the defenders summon more defenders? From our training, do we know that?
Usually not.
Okay, I think we should kill those guys.
I got a machete.
You want to hack into it? I like that you said that. There was definitely a giggle of joy. Give me a machete roll. That'll be a melee combat roll. This is where Delilah one-shots.
Do you still have that contact card?
What?
Do you still have that connection card?
Oh, yes. But it's not in my thing.
16.
Okay, that's fine. Just wondered if you had it. And for
that
the
is a hit.
chat
What'd you
and
get,
fans
what's the
of
damage
the
on your machete?
long-running show,
11.
my suggestion is just
Put it into my hand as soon as I can. Is a suggestion that a dog should eat it?
I think
dog
dog
would
these
never-
in the
You
well.
see Delilah brings the machete down and it carves into one. But
We don't need the work.
with your base damage, it would inflict shock, but these creatures are undead, so they don't take shock. You rip it free, and it kind of gives you a really weird.
Okay, in my training, do I happen to know if something like my harmonic wave would also have an effect, or if I should pull out my pistol?
Your harmonic wave will probably rip these things apart.
Great, I want to do that to one of them.
I need a second willpower roll from you as the mosquitoes start to pour out of the chest cavity and swarm you. I'm so sorry. Not sorry.
citronella candles.
8 cents.
Okay, so this would make you stymied on your next round, which basically means you take a -2 to everything that you do.
I have a 17.
You have a 17. What is this versus?
The target's dodge or dex.
Well, dang it. Yes, that is a good success.
Perfect. Then that would be 12 damage that ignores armor.
12 damage. And did you roll the bonus die?
Yes. Well, so it's 10 that ignores armor, and then +1 bonus damage, bonus dice. I don't know if that also ignores armor.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Okay.
The whole thing ignores armor.
So 12 that ignores armor.
Oh, 1. All right, so again, you can see this thing kind of shakes and more mosquitoes kind of shake out of it. They both seem very rattled, but you haven't seemed to like be able to overcome their natural resistance. It is now the villain's turn. You guys both get to put a card in your pool.
That reconnect in there. Thanks, chat.
All right. Rock demons clamber onto the boat. 2 of them go after Brother Block, and 1 of them goes after Kowalski.
Okay.
Brother Block, what's your melee defense?
That would be a 14.
All right. The chat loves the citronella candle idea. Just gonna toss that out there.
That's about so I have conjure citronella.
Yeah, put that in your bombs going
Uh,
forward.
Brother Block, you
Yeah,
managed.
in your Molotov, one of your Molotov cocktails is citronella.
These things are short and squat, so they're kind of they seem to be move faster than you anticipate. One you managed to parry, but the other one connects pretty solidly with you.
Excellent. I'm currently at a 15 toughness.
Ooh, well, that's it.
Son of a gun.
Another explosion. Explosions.
I like when you get those.
Hit
I like
me.
when we get those.
14.
It's what I'm here for. Hit me.
14. 12 is 26. What did you say your toughness was?
14.
So Brother Block.
No, 15. 15, but
Yeah, no, that's still 2 wounds and 4 shock.
Are you alive? I mean, how many moves did you have left after?
So actually, due to my praying for 6 hours, it's 2 wounds and 2 shock.
Oh, are you going to try and soak it?
Yeah, I think that's a good point. How many wounds does he have
Yeah.
after the explosion?
No.
Remember,
We were healed.
Brother Block healed himself, and he healed Kowalski. So
Okay.
Yeah, I got healed up when I did all that praying.
Oh, yeah, don't forget that.
Um,
Forget that.
But don't forget that.
I'm more alive than I thought.
okay. Yeah, I will. I'll try to soak it.
All right. At this point,
Did the other guy miss me?
the other guy.
Sorry. I mean, I should shut up.
Hey,
My dad got pulled over for a ticket, and then the officer asked, "Oh, do you know why I pulled you over?" And he volunteered like 5 different things.
I got
Like
a
a taillight.
15
He
on the
got 6
soak.
tickets.
that'll reduce it to nothing. So Ben, your melee defense, they definitely hit Kowalski, but just for base damage.
Okay.
Which is 12, so up to, you will take 2 shock. It punches you right in the groin, because your big techno demon is a small rock demon, and it just punched up.
Okay, so I take 1 last shock. So there's like a ting sound.
It's a crystal clear note of WTF as it pops up. Ladies, the boat comes up next to you, and you can see the person who is in there. As I said, it looked like a gentleman, but as it gets close, you can see that the person is wearing like a full, almost skin tight ninja suit, and is definitely female. And she has a trio of shuriken held between her hands, but she is like looking incredulously at you. As at this point, she just drives by, going. She attempts to backhand throw at you. What is your current? Gabe, I have your dodge at 8. Does the shield drone increases dodge? I don't believe it does. Does it, Ben?
My dodge should be 9.
Oh, it has gone up. Since the last time we talked. All right. Well, it's still
It can increase your dodge, except that currently it is in bunker mode in order to give him that armor. So one of the other limitations I should have told you is you cannot run.
He
the
has
bunker
nowhere to run. He is stuck.
Yeah, good. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
The bunker moves slowly, so if you want to keep the 6 armor, you have to move slowly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you kind of see these shuriken come at you, and this hard light kind of deflects them, and you take no shock and no damage from it. Ladies, you each have a Gospog coming for you.
It's just like tiring out now, right?
I mean, they seem okay.
Okay.
Kit, that's a 20 or a 10, followed by a 2. So total of 12. It still ends up being a worse roll against you, even though it exploded. All right, unarmed combat at 13. So it will hit you for base damage, and it will hit Delilah. Up 4. Math. 17. I think it ends up hitting both of you for base damage. All right. So sadly, my Gospog of the second planting, which the chat correctly guessed, do not seem to do as much as I want them to. So, Delilah, you will take 2 shock from this.
Okay.
As it kind of comes and it hits you in, it brings its fist down right into the bullet wound. You're pretty sure that is not sanitary. There are now mosquitoes and flies just kind of all over the bullet wound. However, Kit, you are more fragile. What's your current toughness?
7.
13. So that is so that will be 1 wound and 2 shock from this.
Okay, quick question.
Quick answer.
So I had 2 shock earlier, and I think it's from when we were in the.
Yeah, that will go.
Great.
Do you want to spend a possibility to try and soak this damage?
Keep this one.
Okay.
So
Now
1 wound,
remember,
2 shock.
1 wound, 2 shock. Remember, wounds subtract from your final totals of anything you roll.
Say more things about that.
So if you have 1 wound and you roll your final total on your harmonic wave was 17, it would actually be a 16.
Okay.
Yep.
Then yes, I will soak it.
Okay, so then you will spend a possibility
Okay.
and you will make a reality roll.
Okay.
I just need to know, I know Ben was talking while I was talking with someone else. Did someone put a connection card in play?
I did.
Damn, okay.
Or as a reconnect card, but
Oh, a
yeah.
reconnect, not a connection card.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a 12.
So that'll drop it to 0 and 0. So what does it look like? How do you bend reality so that this wound is avoided?
Okay, so how are they attacking?
With their claws.
I like to think that I didn't do a full spell of it, but I still do know that corporeal diffraction.
Okay.
So while not the full spell, I feel like I'm pretty good at like shrinking away from things.
Oh. All right. The new card is called Law and Order. Everybody put a card into their pool. If you play a connection card this round, every player gains a police officer to control for the rest of the scene.
But reconnect does not count.
Reconnect does not count. as that.
Dang.
Dang it.
Intimidate or maneuver is the approved action.
Okay.
And I will say, Mr. Furious said to the Kit and Delilah, if one of these things wound you, you have to finish it off. And they have something called blood sense. They will continue to track you.
We made a mistake.
I should have found a boys' brunch.
One brunch was not fun.
All right, so here's the thing. Villains are going first, but they all suffer a setback. So for the ladies, at this point, the eye in the tree snaps open, and you can see the young woman's face that has mostly been consumed. And she kind of, like, you can see, like she concentrates to the point that, like, a single tear rolls down her cheek. And Whomping Willow style, one of the branches pulls at the wall, and several of the rocks of the ceiling come tumbling down, hitting the Gospog, making them, I need both of you to roll a d6. They are vulnerable. If either of your d6s come up an infinity, they will be very vulnerable this turn. Okay, so they are vulnerable. That means it's easier to hit them and easier to wound them. For the gentleman, the femme fatale ninja who went, she is still so shocked that you apparently were like, we're being chased. We ground our boat. She just continues driving straight. So she is out this round. But as the boat starts to crack and break apart, the setback is that both of the rock elementals, or the trio of rock elementals, are also thrown way off balance. You guys have come to expect Zorba doing things like this. Remember the Zeppelin?
Yeah.
We should retitle that episode Return to Sender, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You guys all give me a bonus die roll. If anything comes up a infinity, I will make them very vulnerable this round.
Just a 5.
Give me a d6 roll there. Nope. Brother Block, what'd you get?
On a D6 or a D20?
D6.
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 Oh my gosh. Greg gets a possibility.
Oh, hey, 6.
And in an homage to Right Said Fred, I'm too soaky for my wound. I think we need to get the auditor to come join this group for a little bit. All right, so Brother Block, the duo of rock elementals on you, the boat starts to break apart, and they both sink in. So the one on Kowalski is just vulnerable. The one that you are fighting is very vulnerable. It is the villain's turn, however, and we're going to start with the ladies, as these creatures kind of...
Wait.
No, I'm sorry. We start with Brother Block.
Oh, that's right. I did a prayer.
Yeah.
And the developer of the game, apparently whose name is Greg, has given me the power to go first. And so I kind of want to establish the situation. We are on a party boat that is sinking. Kowalski has the ability to at least glide, if not fly.
I don't take fall damage.
You do? Okay. All right, that's fine. That's
You
fine.
do take drown damage.
And I'm the tick of the team. So I am thinking Zorba that as we can probably not salvage this boat. Based on the Zeppelin episode where I already did a Flying Grayson's move, would you be amenable to a cannonball in which I throw you up the side of this bridge and you hold on to whatever you can? I mean, if I get you all the way to asphalt, great. But if not, yeah, climb the rest of the way up.
So here's the thing.
Whose fault?
That requisition roll that I made,
Yeah.
that was just a regular requisition roll. I
That
would
was
like
correct.
to do. No, there's the requisition
And then
that
you
you
got
can
your-
do.
and then you
I
got
have
your
my
special.
requisition roll that I would like to take on my turn.
Okay.
Um,
Well, he's going
right.
first.
So
and
that's
then the
why
villain's
I'm
next.
saying I'm trying to give Brother Block some a good
excellent.
reason for
Okay,
why I
so,
am not going to go along with his plan. Not
excellent.
because it's a bad
I
plan.
will change-
It's a good plan.
I love your plan is better. As a person with a higher mind rating, of course it is. So, is there a rock troll on my best bud?
There are 2 rock trolls on you, and there is a rock troll on your best bud.
I don't care about the rock trolls on me. I'm gonna deal with that tomorrow. You know. The B in BFF is for battle.
That's forever.
Well, that's right. That's the lovely.
And I will straight swing the hammer on the rock troll on my best bud.
Go for it. Yes, Mr. Furious, I agree. Brother Block is trying to Colossus everyone and turn everyone else on the team into Wolverine. It's just small
I love tossing people. Okay, so wait, I can barely see it on the screen. A 33 is a plus 11. So that is a 24.
Well, let me just see here. Carry the 1. That's an outstanding success.
Okay, so great. So it'll be a 16 plus 2 6s. So that is 22 damage.
All right. As you bring the hammer down on the rock troll, it shatters in front of Kowalski, peppering the boat. Water is now kind of getting up around your feet, but Brother Block just sort of side hammers the troll in front of you, or I keep saying troll because the rock demon in front of you, destroying it completely. The other 2 take this opportunity to punch him repeatedly in sort of the fleshy bits.
So what's the body?
Yeah, they're gonna work the body. Well, one of them apparently skipped that day. The other one, however, also didn't do great. There is nothing worse than as a Torg player or GM getting that sweet, sweet 10 and then having it come up like a 3. And you're like, I could have rolled that normally. It gave me all of this excitement and then. All right, so 15 versus your melee defense, which hits Brother Block. And that is, I have that as a good success. Is that correct, Brother Block?
On what was the roll?
Melee defense 15? Or did you increase it?
No. My melee defense is an 8 plus a 4.
So that's a 12.
So yeah, no, that's a 12. Yeah.
Okay, so that's just a regular success. So Brother Block, you will take no shock from that because of your right.
But he did hit me.
He did hit you.
He hit me, and I just looked at him like, "Are you kidding?"
Too many dice.
Yeah, it's a lot of dice.
Yeah, it's a lot of dice. So, okay, the one that you are fighting hits you. I'm sorry, Jenny. These are the ways that it works. Hits you kind of square in the chest, kind of grabs you on either side, mosquitoes just swarming around your head, and inflicts a wound and 2 shock.
So many wounds and 2 shots.
I know. Delilah, the same thing is coming at you, and it rolled. It only hits you for a base amount of damage, which in your case is just another 2 shock.
Okay.
That is all of the villain's turn. It is now, we're gonna.
What about the ninja assassin lady?
She's out this round because of the setback that the group suffered.
Okay, she's gonna spend this round falling in love with me.
Did you just play a romance?
That's why she was actually distracted going by.
Well, she was very impressed with just how utterly, like, disregarding anyone else's safety and or the incredibly expensive boat that I was driving.
Also, because Zorba is near the helm, I want to say that there was some kind of like radio or music playing, and I shouted, "Zorba, turn it up!" he has now.
And just like the glinting
he's
hard
the
light,
radio.
Yeah.
just like hit her eyes right at the right moment.
Yeah.
It's just
Careless
just
Whispers on the radio.
Yeah.
Zorba looking like the magnificent sea captain that he is on a boat that's slowly sinking in the Bosphorus.
And it's not even my turn yet.
It's not even your turn yet. We're gonna start with Kit and Delilah. What do you guys want to do? Your enemies are
Not even
vulnerable.
that cool.
How intelligent are these creatures?
Not very.
So if I were to use my disguise spell and look like one of them, would they stop coming after me?
Ooh, that would require a trick roll. Do you feel? Question is, so you would need to get a 22 on your trick roll, a 20 on your trick roll, in order to trick them that magnificently.
I'm not rolling very good tonight. So
It might also.
Also remember, the more you, well, this is Oro. You guys are in Oroch, so be very careful. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't think I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna stick with my gun and my machete.
Okay, so you want to, all right, give me a fire combat roll.
Yeah, shoot.
Oh, I want to use my machete. I'm gonna stick
Okay.
It's already in my hand.
All right, give me your machete roll. What'd you get? Oh, no!
Are these in your pool? They
Yeah.
even let you re-roll or change what you do.
Yeah, do you have a second chance? That would be the card you were looking for.
Oh, no. I have a one where I can take another turn later, but
That might be a good one to use in
Yeah,
this case.
flurry. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can use
you,
that now?
yeah, you would use it now, and then after everyone went, you would get a second turn.
So hang on to that.
So you bring the machete down, and you don't know whether it's the sweat or the all of the mashed mosquitoes around your hand, but the machete goes flying. It sticks into the tree.
Oh.
Blood starts
Oh, that tree just helped us.
The tree didn't just help you, and that's going to help you again. It may help you again.
So I feel like I'm now terrified. Because something's finally hit me. I'm usually in the back, so nothing does, because nothing targets me. So I didn't enjoy that. And I feel like in my need for things to get resolved quicker, I'm gonna go to my old unreliable of a Molotov cocktail.
All right.
Old unreliable.
Oh, it has not worked once.
Wonderful.
But I always wanted to. But I kind of
Burn it
want
all.
to, kind of scoot away from the one near me. And
All right, and chuck it.
yeah,
Go for it.
okay. Natural 20. So,
Oh no!
and a 1. So.
Right? That's my pain. It's so upsetting.
Oh gosh. Okay, but that's still a +8.
Yep. And
Do
what's
I-
the blast radius on a Molotov cocktail? Do you know if it is a blast?
It is a medium blast.
So that would catch both of these guys in the explosion.
Yeah, that's why I scooted away.
Yeah. Mr. Furious is like Molotov cocktails in an enclosed area. All right. So
Good planning.
what's the total?
The total is a 14.
All right. Do you have anything to bump that up even just a little bit?
I have a hero card that can play as a possibility.
Go ahead and roll it.
Great. A 3.
So it'll count as a 10.
Okay,
And
great.
it adds to the initial roll. So you're at
A
31.
Oh, but then minus.
Minus 1 from the wound if you have one.
Okay, so that's 30. So
No, so
no.
it'll still be a total of 31, which
Okay.
adds what?
So it adds 10, so it's to 16, and so now 15.
Right. So you would be at 25 total.
Oh no, because it's plus 6.
What's your
I'm not explaining this well.
yes?
All my rolls together come to a 31
Yeah, which is a plus 10.
plus 10. My missile weapons is a 6.
So you're at a 16, so a
Six.
total of 15.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. So what's the damage on your Molotov cocktail?
It is 14 damage, and they're engulfed in fire.
Okay. And they are vulnerable, so roll a bonus die of damage for each one.
Excellent.
Infinity.
Yes.
Infinity.
Explosions.
3. So that's
So it's an
13.
extra 13 damage. So one of them lets out this horrendous scream of pain as it stumbles and just hits the ground engulfed in ash, like in flames. It is dead.
I would like to.
You have to roll for the other one too, though.
Can I do my cool thing first?
Sure, do your full thing. Oh, I'm so sorry.
So I like the idea that when I was engulfed in mosquitoes, still I'm a mummy, I'm used to bugs, and they're frequently crawling inside me, that I spit some of the bugs back out at it, like a,
And it just
just like onto the smoldering
yeah,
ash.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I'm glad I just paused the game for that. So,
that was well worth it. Here you go.
Infinity. That one's a 7.
So a 7 plus the 16.
Yeah, 7 plus the 14.
7 plus the 14 is 21. 12 is 9, which is a wound and 2 shock. Both of the Gospog die to the Molotov cocktail.
Oh, unreliable.
Well, it wouldn't be unreliable if it never worked.
Well, but now it's worked once.
Yeah.
So,
Now
Right,
it's
now it works
absolutely
once.
unreliable.
Well done. So you guys are now out of combat.
phew.
Kowalski and Zorba, what are you doing with your turn?
Yes. I would like to make a. I can use my special requisition that I can use mid-scene.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have requested that in the sort of or on the deck with a where there's like a little where there would typically be a lifeboat is instead a small 4 or 5 person pulp era submersible like
built into the
like where just like
yeah.
where the
Give me the
lifeboat would
requisition
be.
roll. This will be a very hard roll. So that'll be a 16.
So a little sub. Okay.
Yeah,
If only
like
it's
a
mixed
little
possibility.
Steve Zissou.
The chat is
Oh.
the chat is just delighted that the risk reward factor of a Molotov cocktail wielding mummy is just not.
It finally worked.
Oh,
I got a natural 20
Oh.
and a 19.
Bodie McBoatface
So
is the
that's
name
gonna
of the submersible.
start at so 39 is the start. So that's a plus 11. That's
What
my
about these fucking
persuasion.
odds?
Yeah.
Is this my so,
this is your persuasion.
so that's gonna be
I was really worried he was gonna say that you requisitioned just like an extra bar.
24.
Like, but because we're in the Nile, it like works
25.
on a,
So that's a
bicycle.
26. Is
So like
that enough
someone
yet?
has
Yeah,
to
26
pedal.
is enough.
Is it okay?
Yeah,
I got stuff I can spend.
yeah, yeah. No. You got an outstanding success on this.
Okay.
So Zorba walks to the middle of the bar, or the middle of the barge. The boat is breaking apart. Parts of it are sliding into the water. Cocktails are falling everywhere. The brunch spread. Your lobster kind of slips off into the Bosphorus, and he whips the tablecloth off of the table, and you see that it is not a table, but it is the top hatch of a submersible.
I say get in. I pull off my little captain's hat that I was wearing and put on a snorkel.
Well, does it fit?
You would be a tight squeeze, but there are 2 rock demons between you and the submersible.
Okay, fine.
Will they fit?
All right, so
They will fit. He said specifically 5 or 6 man, which works out to him and these 2 guys.
What were the approved actions this round?
Intimidate and taunt, but remember, you went first.
right, but it's a good call.
Oh,
I
And I will
Mr.
go
Furious,
first again.
I think it is indefinite. They're discussing the flammable mummy fire wielder. They think it's part of your character design that you know it's bad for you, but you're kind of drawn to it like a moth to the flame. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's what I thought.
Like,
Kowalski, you can intimidate pretty hard, right?
it's up there. So my thought is that,
Because I'll go first again. I can just knock them out of your way if you want to get in this boat.
I mean, it sort of seems like the option. Could I intimidate them out of my way?
So here's the thing: the way interaction attacks work. If you get an outstanding success versus a non-reality rated foe, which the rock demons are not reality rated,
Okay.
you get to describe how you remove them from the scene thanks to your action.
Okay.
So if you want to try and intimidate both of them, it is a multi-action, but if you roll high enough, you will scare... Oh man, you will scare the silt out of them. And they will leave you hissing.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's try an intimidate action.
Are you trying to get both of them?
Yeah, I need them to move out of the way.
All right, so it's 1 roll versus 1 roll, total intimidate -2, minus any wounds that you may still have. I don't think you're wounded. Okay, yeah.
So
One roll. Yeah, you roll once. That's the beauty of Torg. It's a 1-roll resolve system.
17 is not bad. That's 4 plus 12, so that's 16.
So that's 16 minus 2.
Minus 2,
So that's 14. So here's the thing. That is a good success.
I needed a...
You need an outstanding success.
All right, well,
All right. So what is your base roll right now?
my base roll is
17. All right, roll it.
Gosh darn it, that's a 3.
But
So the
that's a 10, so 27.
Plus my 12, 19 minus 2 equals 17.
So yeah, 27 is a plus 9
Okay.
total.
Yep.
So did you
So-
get that?
Oh, plus 9?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Except, yep. Wait, no. Because it's 17 plus 3.
No, because remember
Plus-
on a possibility,
Oh, it can be
anything
right.
less
You're
than
right.
10
You're right.
counts as a
Okay.
10.
Yep. So 9 plus. So that brings me up to a 21.
a 21 is an outstanding success.
Excellent.
What do you do, and how do you remove them from the scene?
Okay, so first of all, I.
1 round changed everything. I was like, crap, people are gonna die. Oh wait, nope. Molotov cocktails and scary people and submersibles, and we're fine.
So the water is
I love Torg.
up around coming up to my ankles here.
Yeah.
and there is a plate of pastries floating past.
There is.
I
So
should pocket some of those.
right, no. So I pick up one of the like bagels
Yeah.
and I like
Yeah.
stick it in my mouth.
Not a Kowalski crawler.
You don't
Yeah.
put it on your horn.
No,
Right,
no.
yeah.
I gotta have a hand free. So
Okay,
I
yeah.
stick it in my mouth,
Okay.
and I grab the
Save
other
a
plate
lot
in
of the
my hand.
donuts here.
And I make a horrifying. Imagine like Roy from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Just growl at them
Around the big.
around the bagel, and then I walk past them and get in the submersible.
Okay. They go leaping off of the boat.
There. Okay.
And yeah, when you get an outstanding success, you remove them from the scene.
Works for me.
All right. So you get in the boat. Brother Block, are you getting in the boat or the submersible as well?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay. As you're standing there, Zorba, dawn light kind of illuminating the bay of the Bosphorus, and as you kind of stand there with your hand on the hatch, the boat comes back and she has removed her balaclava, long black hair flowing in the breeze, and you lock eyes. And there's an intense smolder that is connecting, and she just kind of nods as you. The submersible. It is probably bicycle powered, as somebody mentioned. So I assume that Kowalski's like on the little thing, powering the little.
Yeah, it's just got a little fishtail that flaps back and forth.
Wow. That is not where. Ooh, Padre gets a possibility. Padre, this is. I don't know if you know how this works, but you will get to spend that possibility either on behalf of the heroes, donating to one of the heroes, or on behalf of the villains. If you would like. All right, so that ends the scene. Your submersible beaches somewhere.
I report to the Delphi Council that it was destroyed along with the barge.
Okay.
So we all are on a Fellows submarine.
Punish you.
Took me a second.
Possibility.
Ladies, what are you doing?
So we're in this horrible place now,
Yes.
looking at this horrible tree.
Yes.
I'm so sad for this person. Is there anything we can do to like make her happier without making a lot of other people come attack us?
You would probably need the rest of the team to
Okay.
figure it out.
Then I would like to thank her. And then maybe we should like GTFO.
All right. Hand me your Oroch cards because you did not spend them. As soon as you get to the top of the stairs, you return to the Nile Empire.
Thank you.
And for
That's
sake,
way better than my last Nile Empire card.
do you guys return, like go to regroup with the group at this point? What do you guys do?
Should we check out anything else in that main room? Like, is there anything left in that main room?
No, it looks like he grabbed basically everything aside from. Well, actually, give me an evidence analysis roll, ladies.
Yeah.
I know that Zorba
20.
has been holding on to this romance card. Oh, wait. It's like-
Waiting for the right one.
Wait, so he loves a river ninja?
No, the River Ninja loves him.
I mean, it may be
To be
mutual.
fair.
Is she one of the Dr. Mobius's top lieutenants?
Mm.
Is she possibly the hidden Dr. Fear conundrum? Could it be Lady Omarosa?
It's definitely not Lady
As-
Alexa.
Yeah, she looks
As a
very
person
much-
interested in river ninjas, there's a movie called Striking Distance with Sarah Jessica Parker and Bruce Willis that will really inform this debate.
The 19.
Okay.
So it's minus mine.
Yes.
So
You're like, you retrieve your machete. As you kind of look through the papers, you can see that there are still some of those, like one of the photographs of, again, that place that's carved out of rock. And you got a 19, you said?
Mhm.
You have anything that can get you to a 20? Like any cards in play? Does anyone have any cards in play that can add to this evidence analysis roll?
I can. Oh no.
What luck.
Mr. Furious is still continuing the rock puns and punning his way into our hearts.
Okay, I have a supporter role. Would I be able to trade this to Delilah, who could then play it on my behalf?
Oh yeah, but like definitely.
Do you have any cards you don't want?
Sure. I've used that. I have 2
You
flurries.
didn't use this one.
Oh, I
You
did
didn't
it.
have to.
One
You
flurry.
burned them all
Great.
down.
All right.
I have
Alright.
+3.
Okay, so Delilah's help gets you to
Thank you.
you can actually see that there is one of the pieces of paper that has fallen seems to be encoded, but your keen intellect, Kit, it is a series of dates, times, and shipments. It looks like things have been being brought into the city from this other place, and it looks as if some of the eternity shards from the Nile Empire side of Istanbul have been being drawn out of the city.
Oh. Okay. Do we assume that these shipments are coming in and out of that weird tree? Oh, red tree. Ew. Okay, we need to keep the shards from leaving town. Do we want to check out we already saw everything we need to see in the other apartment, right? Okay. Then I think we should grab a brunch for ourselves on the way home.
Like that this group has priorities.
You're bleeding.
Bleeding
It
legs.
is food. As you guys, are you heading back to, you stow your submersible. Make sure you remember that you have a submersible, because I will forget, and then when you bring it out,
So
I'll
my
be like,
question is, do we now need to actually go through the flesh gate to get into the Technodemon's fortress if we have a submarine?
you don't know how to get past the seawall. You don't know how far it goes down, but you could attempt to use the submersible to get into the Thargold side.
Could is the same as should.
Are you guys heading back to the safe house? You haven't heard from the ladies in about 2 or 3 hours. Are you heading to try and find Stefanos? Kind of what's the plan here?
We should go reconnect with the rest of the gang.
Meet up at the
Yeah. The not safe house.
All right.
And on the way, I will check in on Stefanos.
Just cut through the market.
Cut through the market. All right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I believe this. It's not that we were selfish. It's just that we wanted to have a boys' brunch, but also Kowalski and I are very good cooks. So on the way, it's still very early in the day. We will walk through the market and we will get food to prepare for all of our compatriots, and
All right.
also we'll find Stefano to make sure that the settings are appropriate,
All right,
because
I
we
need-
cannot handle that.
Brother Block and Kowalski to give me a find roll.
Is that a mind?
That would be a mind roll. Zorba, as you're walking through the market,
Yeah, that's no good, man. It's a 3?
That just means you got distracted by a butterfly.
Uh,
is this a
8?
Yes.
Stefanos is literally nowhere to be seen. The chat wants to know, do you just buy a bunch of sheep heads because you were the head chef?
You know, actually, I did watch a cooking show about Istanbul, and they do sell sheep heads. And like in the show, they eat the sheep's head. So yes, we buy like 4 of them.
A
And
quartet of
Yes,
sheep heads.
one for everybody.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Kowalski,
kid is not into it.
I need to let you know there are 5 of you.
Damn.
Zorba,
One of us is vegan.
Is it you?
Sure. Why not? Yes, I'll be. Yeah.
Eat, so we're probably fine.
No,
Inevitable
I'm
return.
lawful good. I might as well also be vegan. All things that Ben is not.
All right, so you want to play this
I'm
inevitable
going to play this
return?
inevitable return.
Okay. So, as you guys all regroup, you notice that Zorba has spent an inordinate number, like he has found this really strange package that he kind of hides as he comes back. As you all regroup, you guys return, and something smells good until you open the door and you can see there are roasting sheep heads on kind of a.
Onions, peppers.
It's definitely the onions and
Sheep
peppers.
heads, roly-poly sheep heads.
I think does Mr. Furious need a possibility for the sheep head thing? I think he does. There you go, Mr. Furious. And as the door opens, you can see something jumps out of Zorba's hands and goes racing across the room and gives Delilah a big hug on her leg. And this really creepy handmade doll looks up at you and is like, "Oh, Delilah, it's good to see you. It's me, Chad. Remember?" And that's where we will pause for tonight. I don't know what we're going to do with that, chat, but that is the inevitable return. This is the end of the act. You guys will all get new cards. You will all get new possibilities. And the announcement that I've been teasing all day, we're finally going to get to do this. So the sadly part of the announcement is, sadly, this will be the last night that the Torg Eternity stream will be streamed on the Ulisses International channel. However, the first Tuesday of May, we're taking the next week off because a business trip should be businessing. We will be back the first week of May on the Iconic Production channel, continuing the game. The Torg game is not going away. We are just transferring the Twitch channels that the Torg game will be streaming on. So from now on, you will find the Torg Eternity game. Torg's Day Nights will still be live, but will be live on the Iconic Production channel. It is the channel where I do behind the scene, or behind the screen. It's the channel where we do the Iconic Production, Iconic Podcast. We do Exploring Glorantha. We do all of those other great shows. We will now be incorporating the Torg Eternity game. There's a lot of positive things about this. We are also going to be feeding into some of the original things that we were sharing about year 2. We're going to be looking toward moving the game through the timeline toward year 2, where we're going to explore what may possibly be happening there. So I hope all of you will come and join us on the Iconic Production channel in 2 weeks. If you follow the Iconic Production channel already, if you're a Patreon, you're on our Discord, you are welcome. We will post notices. Phantom, who is the moderator of the Ulisses International channel, will point everyone to the Iconic Production channel through May, and we're just going to take the game and we're going to kind of keep running at it. Same GM, same great players, same great Torgy goodness that you have come to expect, just on a new channel. We'll have, instead of the little Ulysses banner here, we'll keep that. You'll also see the iconic dragon in the lower corner. And I just want to thank Ulysses for the opportunity to have run this game on their show for as long as we have. We did the Horseman game, we did the B Team, we did Bureau G. All of those games are staying on the Ulysses International channel. All of the new games will be on the Iconic Production YouTube channel. And I'm still excited to be running this game. I have a lot of plans. I can crank the weirdness up a lot more than I've already been doing. And we're going to go from there. So again, it is. Same bat time, different bat channel. I originally read that as same Ben time, different Ben channel. Both work. So to my players, thank you guys for playing. That one round was a complete turn of fate for you guys. The Molotov cocktail, the submersible, and the incredible bagel-filled Intimidate Bowl. As I said, we'll be back on the Iconic Production channel in May, but expect all of the things that we've promised. We're going to have more B-Team. We're going to have more Bureau G. We're going to have guests as we get closer to where the timelines are merging between the Horseman game and this game. I've already spoken with some of the members of the B-Team for cameos on this channel. So, I mean,
half put to here.
yeah, like Brother Block is apparently ready to go. The streams are crossing already. The Infiniverse is contained in that one rectangular person spot of Ben. Thank you all for tuning in as long as you have. We look forward to sharing even more Torg with you. One of the advantages is you will, instead of always seeing the Nile Empire card or whatever cosm the group is, we're going to actually have the chat box up. So you will be able to see the chat as it's rolling up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube, and my players will get to see the chat as it's rolling up screen, which will make this so much easier for me to run. So, until next time, we will be back in 2 weeks on the Iconic Production channel. I am Jane, your GM. This is the wonderful, as of yet unnamed Torg group. We will be wrapping up, or starting the final 2 acts of the Legacy of the Nabateans, hopefully. I can't tell what this group is going to do, in 2 weeks on the Iconic Production channel. To everyone, especially to Phantom of Truth, who's been our moderator and hopefully will continue to be our moderator going forward. Thank you to everyone. Seriously, I love running this game, but I think we all love interacting with you guys as the game is happening. It adds a layer of enjoyment that does not exist in any of my other games. So thank you all. Thank you all. We will see you in 2 weeks. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming. We'll see you soon.